I have the West Bengal results here. But, you know, you have to wait for Mishti Doi always. It's the last course.
Wait, there's Puducherry.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm saying. It's the last course. It will not be, it will be exactly at 9 o'clock. We do it course by course. So we are coming to an important course. And I think this is a fascinating election. Don't underestimate what is happening in Puducherry. Let's take a look at Puducherry itself. Remember, small state, union territory of the country. But Rahul, fascinating what's happening here. Look at the vote share first. Let's take a look at exit poll vote share in Puducherry, the tiny, lovely union territory of Puducherry on the country's southern coast. NDA 52%. Remember, there's a BJP alliance here with the AINRC, the All India NR Congress of N Rangaswamy, once a congressman. They are getting 52%. Congress, which was ruling Puducherry till the government was toppled in February this year, 37%, others 11%. How is this translating into numbers as per our exit poll? These are the numbers for the tiny state of Puducherry, 30 seats. And here too, Pradeep Gupta is predicting a sweep of sorts. 20 to 24 out of 30 for the AINRC BJP combined. I should actually put it, to be fair to the AINRC, they are the dominant partner. The BJP is contesting 9, the AINRC 16. So the BJP is part of the alliance, but the leader is N Rangaswamy. The Congress, on the other hand, is getting just 6 to 10. It's tied up with the DMK. Look at how the Indian voter is. The same DMK Congress alliance sweeps Tamil Nadu, but neighboring Puducherry, anti-incumbency against the Congress government, NDA is coming to power, others 0 to 1. And I'll tell you why this is significant, because this is a possible springboard for the BJP to grow in Tamil Nadu. This will be the first time they will be in power in Puducherry, albeit as a junior partner if these numbers hold. And this is the strategy of the BJP in peripheral states, in Goa, in Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, now Puducherry. Capture or tie up with the regional party, and that's the way you grow in these relatively virgin areas.
Is this the way it will stay, or can there be reverse swing? Because it's not the Congress that's done well. The Congress has been decimated. It's the DMK that's got 4 to 6. The Congress is only 2 to 4. The AINRC between 13 and 15. And it's got a very, very high strike rate. Out of 16, they're almost picking up virtually all the seats they fought on.
15 seats they are likely to win NR Congress. Out of 16 they fought, as you are saying, Rahul. And most importantly, the seat selection. You know, in any alliance for that matter, seat sharing is one thing, but most important point is that seat selection. So, though, you know, NR Congress, Rangaswamy being in the forefront, he given away 14 seats to BJP and AIDMK, but most importantly, the seat selection of those 16 seats, he is likely to win 15 seats out of those 16, and the majority mark is happened to be 16 itself. So that is very interesting to see, and in fact, the alliance has not declared any chief minister candidate.
Will this give the BJP some solace in the south? Veer Raghav, that they've been able to get a toehold in Puducherry, where so far the Congress was the dominating force, but in the way that this election result seems to be panning out, the Congress now reduced to being a fringe player, and typically with the Congress, once it becomes a fringe player in one state, it finds it very difficult to bounce back.
I would agree with that. The Congress may not see a future in Puducherry, but then remember, Puducherry is not reflective of Tamil Nadu. You know, getting a toehold in Puducherry, and remember, it's not BJP getting the toehold in Puducherry. French and Tamil are both as distant to the BJP, in terms of linguistic understanding. I think it's Rangaswamy who's been waiting in the wings, and it's anti-incumbency for the Congress that's resulting in a backfire in Puducherry. So don't see it as a larger indication of Tamil Nadu or a toehold, but yes, the Congress may be on its way down in that state, in the Union Territory.
No, but this is the one state of the South, Priyambada, where the Congress won in the last assembly election. Now it's likely to fall to between 2 and 4 from the 29 projected leads in 2019 and the 4 seats that they had in 2016. So it's actually a very, very big fall for the Congress in that one state which they actually had in the South.
I think it is because of the same problem, the disease that has been plaguing Congress across the country. It is the same internal party issues, because some important leaders like Namah Shivayam and so many leaders from the Congress had left, which led to the downfall of the Congress. Point number one. And point number two, people in Puducherry witnessed how the clash between the Lieutenant Governor and the sitting Chief Minister did not lead to any kind of development, and there was law and order problem. Probably that's why they decided it's better to vote for the government which is going to be in alliance with the central government, and which is going to have the Lieutenant Governor and the CM can work in sync and ensure that they will be able to run the state union territory peacefully. So I think these are the factors which has led to Rangaswamy and NDA to pull through this election.
Look at, you've been mentioning, Rahul, the Congress's strategy. Look at what has happened in Puducherry. The government falls. Now, the only way you could have half a chance, to my mind, in an election is garner sympathy for the Chief Minister. He's been toppled. MLAs have switched sides at the last moment. BJP has brought down the government. What do? You don't even give Narayanaswamy a ticket. You decide we don't want to deal with Narayanaswamy. We will now try and build another alliance. Build a new leadership. What happens? His number two, Mr. Namah Shivayam, joins the BJP. He ties up with the AINRC, which is run by an old congressman. This is typical of small states. In Manipur, who is the Chief Minister? Birender Singh, former congressman. Who is the Chief Minister in Arunachal? Prema Khandu. Who is the Chief Minister for a while in Goa? Who was, or Deputy Chief Minister Vijay Sardesai. All former congressmen. What do? They look to tie up these regional alliances. The BJP decides to join in because they don't have a base.
All of whom the Congress couldn't take care of.
That is one argument you could make. Either way, the BJP as a power, as a strong party at the center, is now gobbling up these peripheries by looking at who is the regional leader that I can do a deal with. So they do that. What is the Congress's attitude? We will jettison even the leaders that we have. Now, you are not able to accommodate them. Navasya wanted to become Chief Minister. You said, no, Narayanaswamy will become. Fair enough. Narayanaswamy is toppled. And then you distance yourself from him because you want a new, younger leadership. Now, that can't happen overnight. My point is the Congress has to have a strategy. There is no strategy. You see, you rely on imponderables which you can't win an election with. The BJP, as rightfully said by Pradeep, actually went seat by seat in Puducherry and saw how can I get the maximum advantage. As a result, one more state has gone away from the Congress grasp. So if these results...
No, but can I just say it's not gone away from the Congress grasp. It's the Congress could have been reduced to a rump potentially forever. Because it's not as if they've come in second. They've now come in behind the BJP, behind the DMK, behind the AIADMK. Now try, if you're number 4, number 5 in the Congress, try and come back from there to win again. The Congress typically doesn't do that. That's what the election history says.
But there was anti-incumbency against the Narayanaswamy government. There was this fractious war between him and Lieutenant Governor Kiran Bedi, none of which helped. My point is, and it was identified, there were corruption allegations against their ministers. My point is, you need to fight every state with a strategy. Do you have a strategy? Except Assam, I don't think the Congress in any of the states had a strategy.
In fact, in Puducherry, the DMK local leadership has clearly denied if Congress project Narayanaswamy once again, or even if contest the election, then there is no alliance between DMK and Congress. They have clearly put forward this, and Congress had no choice but to withdraw him.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Shastri is still with us, I think. He just sent me away. I'm still there. Okay, main hu na. Dr. Shastri, whether it's Tamil Nadu or Puducherry, are you getting a sense that, the Congress needs a strategy? It's reduced now. Even if it wins Tamil Nadu to a very junior partner, it could lose Puducherry. If Pradeep's numbers are right, they are being swept out. They have no chance in Kerala. They will lose Assam as per Pradeep numbers, though my Congress sources say this is our best chance is in Assam. We have a more than fighting chance. In Bengal, they virtually gave up the campaign by the time phase 6 came. What's the message? What's the sense you're getting? Is southern India also slipping from the Congress grasp?
Rajdeep, if our exit poll numbers are going to be what we will see on Sunday, I think the Congress is going to face a huge crisis. They were not able, as per our exit poll, they are not able to do anything in Kerala. In Tamil Nadu, they are piggybacking on the DMK. They are losing Puducherry. They have not been able to win back Assam. So I think there seems to be a serious crisis within the Congress and in the way the Congress projects itself. Puducherry is a classic example, as you yourself said. You were in power. You had a leadership infighting. You do not defend your outgoing chief minister, for which you could have got some sympathy factor. So I think the strategy of the Congress does not seem very clear, and Puducherry is a classic example, and this is across the country, which I think on Sunday we will discuss if this trend continues.
No, but remember,
Is
what's the lesson the Congress will draw from this?
No,
they
that's
will
what,
draw
Rahul,
the
is the
lesson
Congress-
that they need Rahul
is the
Gandhi back as
Congress-
Congress president, Rajdeep.
No, is the Congress losing its
my friend,
base
you know,
as
Rahul,
the
you have to
center?
either, Rahul, my friend Rahul Kaval, and likes Rahul bashing.
No,
Now-
it's not bashing. Is it
No,
not
no,
a reality
look,
that the
yeah.
Congress old guard, not the 23 who are the
Yes.
opponents, but everybody else is waiting in their wings to find some sliver of hope to catch on to so they can reappoint Rahul Gandhi as Congress czar?
We discussed earlier about moral stature in politics and political capital. The problem is, idealism has its limits. You need strategy. At the moment, the Congress claims to be an idealistic
No, you're
party
dodging
under
my
Rahul
question.
Gandhi.
Is it not a fact
No, I'm not
that
dodging any
Rahul
question.
Gandhi, the decks
This
are
will be
being
a
set?
if these numbers hold, huge setback for Rahul Gandhi. A congressman will
No, but
have
he'll
to
say,
ask
"Main to
questions.
tha hi nahi." In
No, no, of
typical
course he
Rahul
was.
Gandhi,
No, no,
he'll
one
say, I
minute.
never fought the election.
No, one
I
minute,
hardly
Rahul.
campaigned in Bengal.
1 minute.
We went few
1
times
minute.
to Assam.
1 minute,
We
Rahul.
went a few times to
No,
Kerala.
1 minute.
But I wasn't president.
No. Rahul Gandhi invested a lot of personal and political capital in Kerala. If the numbers hold, it's a huge setback for him. Rahul Gandhi did go to Puducherry. It's not as if he can claim that I didn't campaign. Let's be very clear. When you lose an election, you must accept the loss and take responsibility. The problem at the moment for the Congress is Rahul Gandhi has the power but no responsibility. You see, this is the problem. You
No,
need
but what
leadership.
happens to the Congress's grand plan of reappointing Rahul Gandhi as president?
I don't know. That's in June, July. Look what will happen.
No,
Let's
they
be-
were waiting for these election results.
Rahul, there are two battles being fought in the country. One is the election battle, which we'll know on May 2nd. One is the larger COVID battle. I think what is going to happen is that the Congress will hope that the COVID battle will give them some kind of an impetus and the alleged failings of the Modi government leading into the next few months. Not recognizing that for all the failings, you need an election machine on the ground. You need organization. You need strategy.
No, and you
see,
don't get that by doing push-ups with one hand.
Look, I don't want to personalize it, but I do believe that the Congress is a party at the moment drifting without an oar. You need an oar. You need some kind of strategy. Where is your strategy? You drop a chief minister's toppled, you don't give him a seat. Kerala, till the last moment, you don't know which faction, how are you going to manage factions. In Assam, you suddenly wake up to the possibilities that exist in fighting an election. At least you had a strategy there, I'll say. In Bengal,
No,
who's
can I
your
build
enemy?
on your boat? Can I build on your Kerala boat metaphor?
Yes.
It's like everybody is sitting on the boat, nobody has an oar, and nobody is paddling. So you're just sitting, hoping that the tide will take you, hoping that the government
Right.
of the LDF will get voted out because people are fed up with the left.
No, same
Or
thing.
similarly in Assam, hoping that because 5 years have passed and it's difficult for the BJP to win, if everybody just sits like this for the large part of the time
Rahul?
when the government is in power, you're not going to win.
it's the same thing about COVID. The belief that the Modi government has made major botch-ups, and let's call them botch-ups for what they are, like in the vaccine policy, is not enough reason for people to vote against Mr. Modi, whether now or 3 years from now. You have to show that you are more credible. Unless you are able to prove that you are more credible, you will blame everyone else, including the media, for your defeats. And that's not good enough. Politics has become more competitive. It's like what Virat Kohli did to Indian cricket. You can't play Indian cricket today unless you're super fit. My old father who played late father who played for India was not exactly super fit. Wouldn't fit into Virat Kohli's team. He would have to change, adjust. You have to become better. Right? You've got to fit into the times. The Congress has to become a leaner, fitter
but
election machine.
you
You can keep attacking Modi Shah for their failings, but they fight. They fight Puducherry, they fight Bengal, they fight elections. You cannot win today in any field in life without a fight.
And we're saying all of this
Right, Pradeep?
without at this
Okay,
time telling you what's happening in West Bengal. Because if you've been watching our coverage this evening, I suggest you take a very quick break right now, come back, because after that you will not be able to leave the television screen. Because what we're about to show you will shock you. Whether you're a Trinamool supporter, whether